So is this the room you're going to be doing the webinar in?
Yes. Is that okay, or should I go somewhere else?
It's your face is in a lot of shadow because of
Yeah.
the lighting.
The light is not good here.
Is there a way? Is there a way that you could have a lamp that put light on your face?
I do actually. I have those.
Around diva lights?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a lot of shadow.
Yeah. I am shady, though.
I'm sure you just mean shadow.
I will do that. So I could go elsewhere. I could go to East and do it there, and the room is much nicer.
Yeah, I mean, the room looks like an interview room for a police station or something.
From what?
It looks like an interview room from a police station.
Oh my gosh.
There's not a lot of color in it.
No, there is nothing.
Not very inspiring, right?
No. I mean, like the rest of offices are, like psychiatrists, sex therapists, and psychotherapy. So.
Wow, fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun people. What's the name of that thing? The lights?
Diva.
What?
The Diva light?
Oh, Diva lights.
Yeah. The round LED one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I will go to East and do it there because the rooms are nicer. It's not like they have a lot of light, but with this thing in front of my face, it will look like very angelical.
Perfect.
So yeah.
That's what we want. We want you to come over in your best light, obviously.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so I already have the tickets for San Diego. Then you will get to meet James.
Fantastic. Exciting. You'll love it.
I will?
You will. It's something I've invested in for the 4 years, and I love her. And a lot of my success has come out of working with her.
Yeah.
So you'll be inspired. Plus, there's a lot of people in that room that you can meet with.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think when if you've got your story right and your business cards and you tell people what you're doing,
yeah.
I think you'll get a lot of opportunity to talk to people.
A lot of what?
A lot of opportunity to talk to people, and the right kind of people. Well, even that's better with the tree behind your head.
Yeah, but the light is still really bad.
Oh, it is. Yeah, no, it's fine. That's okay. That for her, so it's totally good.
Okay.
So how comfortable are you feeling with the slides now?
Because I am used to do the script thing.
Yep.
Like I scripted all my videos, and I feel so much more comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
Going over a script. I think I would be a good actress.
I think you would.
No, seriously, because I get really into the spirit of the whole thing with no problem.
Yes.
When I know what I am saying. And because this is not my first language, is more difficult. I mean, like coming up with words. Huh?
I totally understand. You're doing great. I mean, this is a big leap of faith. I mean, it's a whole new world.
In which sense? I don't know what you mean.
Well, I did my first webinar about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was so nervous.
Oh, really?
Oh my goodness. Just in case nobody showed up, nobody might buy, I might make a mistake, I might look idiotic. I went through every scenario in my brain that you could think of. And then I went, I love helping people. I love talking to people. It's just I can't see them. So, I mean, I wore a black t-shirt. I was sweating like crazy, and I didn't want anybody to see all the sweat rings.
That's funny.
And I paid someone to sit next to me so he could look after the tech in case something went wrong. And it did. I mean, tech now with Zoom is so easy. Before you had to log into Google and then have a Google Hangout and then have a different set of slides that you preloaded, and now you can just screen share.
Yeah.
So it's much easier. But now I do webinars like I go for coffee. So
yeah, I don't have that much. I mean, I'm not stressed about this, and I do always have in mind that I am doing this to help them. Right? I am not doing it for myself.
Yeah.
and that takes a lot of pressure out of it.
It sure does. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm not nervous. I mean, you know, like it cannot come out great. We only have 5 real people sign up. Like we have 10, but real are 5 because, you know, like you are there, Emily will be there, Paige, Travis, and James. So I'm hoping to have more people sign up. But if it doesn't mean, you know, whatever is the first one.
Well, and then we've got several hundred people on your email list that we can send it to.
The webinar?
Mm-hmm.
Once recorded, you mean?
Yeah, it's
good.
Gonna,
yeah, that's right.
It's quite often it's not the webinar that makes the difference. It's how you use it afterwards.
Okay.
So the people that registered that can't show up live, the people that didn't know about it, that we could put it out in the next email.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very useful for us in lots of different ways.
I'll have to remember to record it though.
Oh yeah. It should automatically record in Zoom anyway. But yeah, put yourself a post-it note.
I'm going to put a post-it here in my laptop because that will be.
I'll look out for the red dot and I'll put it in the chat box if not.
Oh yeah, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
That will be.
And then with your computer, have open a link to your calendar on the website already.
Yeah. So I have all of these inside the script of the slides, so I know what to do every single time. So I want to be prepared. Yeah, it's not like, you know, like I'm not in another language. I'm not good improvising. I can improvise in Catalan really well or Spanish, but they won't understand me. So it's, you know, I don't need. I mean,
yeah, I understand. So, do you want me to just run through it and let me listen?
Okay, so the other thing is I don't have the whole thing yet. So I am going to do until I have done what I had done.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That way, hold on, it's open here. I have to finish it, and I was planning on finishing this morning. I mean, there is so many slides.
Yes.
Do we need that many?
Well, what I find is when you do a webinar, if the slide stays for a long time, the same slide, and you keep talking, people, they just zone out.
Yeah.
So some of the best theories, the more times you're changing the slide, the more times people are re-engaging because there's something new for them to see.
Mm.
I mean, you're welcome to take some out, but if you speak for 3-4 minutes and the slide doesn't move, sometimes you're better to just stop the slide share and just let them hear you talk to them, rather than talking to a slide that doesn't change for a long time.
Okay. So now you can see everything, right? You can see the notes too.
Yes, I can. But you're sharing this with me though, right? This isn't the presenter mode.
Well, it's not a webinar, so it's going to be different.
Yeah, no, that's great. You've done good.
Let me see 1 second. I think like Ellie's adventure was a little bit too long, so you know I have to review them all.
You can always sort of say, I have a story about my daughter Illy and go to Haiti, and maybe that's for another time. But here's a little quick story. But you know, one day I'll do a Facebook Live and I'll tell the story in depth.
Another thing that I wanted to put is Illy's link, where the blog is.
Oh yes, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
the other thing is we don't want to distract them. So if you put a link while you're doing the webinar, and then they go off and read the blog, they may disappear. So maybe just at the end, I'll give you a link to the blog, but it's also going to be in our Facebook group and in the 30-day challenge. So maybe don't give it to them right at that point.
Okay, so I have so far. Yeah, 12 in the beginning, and I have the end. I have the Q&A down.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Just think of yourself on Bob Proctor's plane one day, flying back from an event where you were speaking on stage about how successful your program has been and how many hundreds of people you've helped around the world. And that's where this is going.
Oh, thank you. It was really funny because on Monday I was talking to Gina. Gina is my accountability person. Did I tell you that?
You did. And then Bob came on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
You know.
Hey, that doesn't happen very often. You're on his radar.
Yeah, that was really funny.
That's
Very,
awesome.
very funny. It was very interesting because the day before I thought, I would like to ask Gina if one day I can talk to Bob. And the next day I talked to him.
There you go.
Is that funny?
So put that same intention out there about people who need you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, welcome and thank you for being here tonight. You could have been doing any other thing and you made a commitment and you decided to be here with me. So thank you very much. My name is Gemi Bertrand, the CEO and founder of Nourish the Brain Institute. We will be spending some time together tonight. So if you have any questions or comments to make, use the chat box you should have on your screen down below. For starters, I would like for you to use the chat box to post where are you from. That way we can see how many different cities or nationalities we have here today with us. Also, I would like you to know if you stay until the end of the webinar, you will have a couple of wonderful freebies only for you. Okay, now it's not moving. Why is it not moving?
Yeah.
Why did that happen? Okay, that's I am a health coach. I am specialized in the brain and human behavior. I learn from amazing professionals from many different health fields in different countries. One of them being Haiti. This is the country where my daughter Illy was born and raised until she turned 6. I don't know if you are familiar with adoption, but let me tell you, are not easy. In fact, adoptions are more difficult than a pregnancy the most of the time. And believe me, because I had both. I decided to adopt Illy being a single mother, a single woman. That itself is already a problem. Very few countries allow it. It took 2 years to go through the entire process. And when I was at the last steps, Haiti got into a coup d'etat and all government offices closed with no more information. Fortunately, I had a lawyer taking care of all the paperwork there. But at this point, he said there was no way that I will finish the adoption process. The government offices are on fire. Probably the paperwork is missing, and who knows when that will finish. Then he said, don't worry, you lost this one, but you can adopt another one. That was like dumping a bucket of ice water in my head. I saw my daughter in photos. I knew who she was, how she looked. I had already created a room for her. She was already my daughter. How did he dare to say that to me? I told him, look, this is how it's going to go. I will call you tomorrow to give you the day I will be in Haiti, and we will go from there. You don't ever tell me to give up on my daughter. The next day, I talked to my parents, to my son, and I decided I was going to Haiti to rescue her without paperwork or passport. I only had a burning desire and faith that she was coming back with me. The Spanish government sent me a telegram denying the trip because a week before, a journalist got shot and died there. So all the bureaucracy that involves to remove dead body from war to repatriate to your country is very complicated. So they didn't want any problems. But I decided I was going anyways. And once I got into Dominican Republic, I didn't know how to get to Haiti. It was very difficult situation, very stressful situation. I just want to point it out that even though all the odds were against me, I still went through, and it turned out to be the best decision that I could ever done. I would suggest you to go to my blog. The full story is there and is very inspiring, and I think is a really nice read for a little while, and that will give you an idea of who I am and how I do things. I will post the link for the blog at the end of the webinar, or you will find it also on Facebook.
Okay, so let me just stop you there. That was very long. I mean, it's really good. But at this point, people have come to see how they're going to fix their brain and then nutrition.
It's too much, right? Yeah, I thought that was too much.
Yeah. So let me tell you a little bit more about me. And one of the defining factors in my life was when I went to adopt my daughter out of Haiti.
Okay, because it got a little bit confusing because like Ely's adventure, it seemed like I had to say something. And
oh, you do, yeah. But I think that was too much detail.
Yeah.
Just say the short story is I was adopting a girl. There was a coup d'etat in Haiti. The Spanish government said you can't go. My lawyer said you can't come. The government office are on fire, and I went, no. She's my daughter. I'm coming. Despite everybody else telling me not to do it, I had the faith that she was my daughter, and I went, and I got her. It's a long story. I'd love to tell you about it in detail, but let me tell you, when I get involved in something, I'm committed, and I make it work.
Okay.
I think something shorter would
yeah. I felt like it was too long. Yeah.
That's okay. That's why we're here.
Yeah, so let me write it down.
I'm recording this. I can send it straight back to you too.
Oh, okay. But until that point was okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, loved it.
So how can I link this one with, well, I will do it. Don't worry. I know I will do it. I know what you mean.
Okay. And then you say, so, after that, let me tell you a little bit more about my story. Well, it gets better.
But the problem is that wasn't after that. That the one that goes after this one is previous to Ely's adoption. Okay,
well, just put the purple slide before the orange then.
Oh, okay.
Just slide it up. There you go. So after coming into relationship, I became a single mother to 2.
So I have to change this one too. Hold on. Jesus, these women are...
I'm a professional health coach. I learn amazing pressure from different health fields in different countries. But you didn't learn from a professional in Haiti. You just happened to have a life lesson in Haiti, right?
Say that again?
So what you say, I have learned from amazing professionals from different countries in the health fields.
Yeah.
I don't think you've learned from any health professionals in Haiti, though, have you?
No. Oh, I should have put being India.
Yeah, there you go.
I
take out that piece. Yeah, I take that out.
Yeah, because it is not going to tie up with the other one.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little bit about my story.
There you go. Okay. And then go to the, yeah. This is me. What year would this have been?
Say that again?
What year would this have been?
With what year?
The photograph, yeah.
Oh, the photograph. I was there. I was still working on my PhD. I was in India.
Yeah, I can see it. Approximately. Just say this was me, 1994. I was in India working on my PhD.
That was me. I was in India working in my PhD. Is in or on?
On my PhD. In India and on my PhD. Yeah.
What I thought. While
Yeah.
I was married and in an abusive marriage for over 10 years, where every day I lived in fear because I never knew with which kind of person I was going to deal that day. Normal or totally crazy, aggressive, drunken man. This kind of behavior is so destructive when sustained for years. It requires a lot to be able to say, I am not putting up with this anymore, and let go. In my case, I kick him out. It was difficult, very stressful, but I succeeded. I kept my house, my son, and myself thanks to my family. My parents were awesome for me and my son. Years later, I decided to adopt my daughter by myself. It wasn't easy to combine everything. So then I thought about Ili's story. So here, what can I put that?
So let me tell you a little bit about how I adopted my daughter. Debbie just made me a shake. I'm just going to grab it so I can drink it while we're talking.
Okay.
Thank you. I lost 5 pounds this week.
You did? Oh man! And now it's going to. I forgot the cord. The battery is going to go dead.
Oh.
I forgot the cord in my home. Well, let's go ahead and do it. I will finish this one and I will, I know the idea. So let me tell you a little bit how I adopted my daughter. I decided to adopt in Haiti. Oh, geez.
That's okay. You know what you're saying.
When everything was ready, Haiti got into a coup d'etat. And my lawyer on the field and my government didn't suggest it or advise me against going forward the adoption.
Okay. Baby said they told me I was a crazy woman.
But my burning desire and my will wouldn't take that one, wouldn't swallow that pill. This is my daughter, and I am not giving up. Against all odds, I brought my daughter
home.
If you want to read full story.
No, I would actually not say that. I say I want to tell you the full story, but that's for another day. So don't give them an option. They need to hear this.
To tell you the full story. But
that's for another day.
That's for another day. Okay. Let me see. With that, how can I tie it up with the other story about?
And you said just when you think, you know, life couldn't get any harder, this is what happened.
Yeah.
I have a phrase in England, you might know it. It never rains, but it pours.
Yeah, we have that one too.
Yeah. So maybe use that phrase. So, you know that phrase, it never rains, but it pours?
Yeah.
Boy, did it pour?
It never rains.
But it pours. P-O-U-R-S. Oh boy, did it pour?
Okay. So when I am writing, I cannot pass over the thing. So I was working full time, studying, raising my 2 kids, and then my father, which I admire, got sick with cancer. My mom was a mess. My brother was working with my father in their company, so he was depressed. All of them were having such a hard time, and I thought, you can do it, you will be fine, until the day that my brain broke. The stress, the pressure, the emotional pain, and the lack of good nutrition broke the wires in my brain, and my body stopped functioning as it should have. For a split second, my brain didn't send the right messages through the central nervous system, and my body stopped knowing how to function. It was like someone clicked the reset button in my brain. I didn't know what was that. My head hurt, my body hurt, I couldn't move. All kind of things happened from one day to the next. I went to the ER. They tested everywhere, from MRI to spinal taps, and nothing. The doctors couldn't figure out what happened, but they were clear something was very wrong with me. Thanks to that, they didn't give me any medication. This was the best thing that happened to me at that point. I knew I did that to myself, and if I did, I could undo it. I am curious by nature, but one thing kept coming up in my mind. My brain stopped and my body couldn't function. That means my brain manages the entire organism. I decided I was going to study the brain and why it works better for some people and not so well for others. Why depression? Why addiction? Why anxiety? Why overweight? Why diabetes? I traveled to India for work in the past, and I was very familiar with Ayurveda. I studied homeopathy and other alternative medicines. All of them had one common point. All of them were based in what we put in our mouth. At that point, I learned about nutrition, foods, superfoods, diet theories, and I tried everything. It felt right on me.
Yeah, it felt right on me? You mean it felt right to me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't sound right.
Yeah.
A few years later, I moved to California. I had a Californian boyfriend. We met in 2008 in LA. We stayed in touch since then. We did a lot of traveling until the day he dropped his knee and asked me to marry him. I moved to San Luis Obispo, which is a wonderful city, but I was bored. One day, one of my husband's friends told me about a friend of his that had a behavioral medical practice, and they were about to close because they had embezzlement problems. I told him, since I do nothing, I could take a look to their numbers and see if there is a solution. At that time, I couldn't legally work. But when I learned what happened, I couldn't resist, and I worked with them for 8 months without pay. In that time, it will be at that time, right?
Yeah.
At that time, I not only fixed the financial problem.
You fixed their financial problems.
Say that again?
Fixed their, so T-H-E-I-R.
T-H?
E-I-R. Their financial
Oh,
problems.
there.
Yeah.
You have such a bad accent, Jonathan.
I do. Oh, you're funny.
At that time, is that correct? It doesn't sound right. At that time, I only fixed their financial.
That time, not only did I fix their financial problems.
Not only did I
yeah,
fix their financial problems.
Yeah.
They were already making money.
It's rather than they finally were making, so they were finally making money or something like that.
At that time, oh fuck.
You fixed their financial problems. So
okay, so my screen went off. I am in the dark now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are you able to go home and get it, and we could do this a bit later?
Well, it will take me like 7 minutes to get home.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Well, I had a 10 o'clock that got cancelled. So I'm free until about 10:45. I think he froze. Are you there?